What are your top priorities as a candidate for the school committee?
My top priorities, first being the VOTEC. Being out in the community, this has been a very important topic to people, and they're very concerned about it getting over the finish line, and I hope to work with the school committee with the work they've already done and get it there. My other priority is really social and emotional well-being of our students. This was something that became a much bigger issue following COVID. It's very near and dear to me. My daughter struggled with this following COVID, and it led us down the IEP path, so I know how important it is for us to address this with our students. I do think that the school's already doing a great job with our elementary students with the Second Step program, where they're learning emotional intelligence. My youngest is in second grade, and I was so proud of her when she came home and in her own words explained to me what integrity was. It just really showed me that they were teaching things that will help prepare her not only for the rest of her elementary school career, but that huge transition when she gets to the middle school. And then lastly, another priority of mine is going to be to actively listen as a new committee member. You know, there's a lot of the committee members that are already there and the superintendent, they have a wealth of knowledge, and I want to actively listen before I respond and ensure that I understand everything that's going on and that I bring something important to the table and not just speak to be heard, but speak when there's something that I feel that I need to speak up for.
What challenges do you see as a candidate for the school committee?
One of the biggest challenges I see as a school committee candidate is the cultural wars being brought to our schools. And what I mean by that in the most simplest form is that issues that are not issues in our schools, parents aren't going to principals complaining about this, students aren't complaining, but small groups of adults are trying to bring national agenda issues into our schools when they don't have to be. This is very important to me because it's not helping progress things in our school. And our schools are not a battleground for these type of things. And I will make it a mission for myself to ensure that we try to keep those out of our schools and school committee. In addition, it's the same thing where I don't feel the school committee position is a Republican versus Democrat. I think that is a huge challenge, and when we get to that table, we need to put our differences aside and just focus on what matters, the students and our community.
What opportunities do you see as a candidate for the school committee?
An opportunity I see as a school committee candidate is really keeping the students in the conversation. And it's something that I haven't heard from other candidates. And again, I'm not someone who just says things, I do what I say. And when I was out door knocking this last weekend, I was out with a sophomore at Pembroke High School, talking to him, finding out what matters to him. And I've involved my youngest in this whole process. She's in second grade at Hobbamock. And it's just so important. We can't make these decisions for kids in the schools without actually having them be part of the conversation. And I just think that is a very important issue that we need to address, and it's an opportunity for us to seize to keep them included. As we get closer to May 17th voting, I want to remind you of the type of candidate I am. I'm the type of candidate that is able to find common ground with whoever I speak to, whether it's at work, speaking to an oil refinery operator in the middle of Wichita, Kansas, or sitting at a kitchen table with a 72-year-old Pembroke resident. I know that we have more in common than we have differences. Today, more than ever, our community needs that type of unity. We need to be able to put aside our own beliefs and really focus on the children. And for me, I'm bringing my professional background, which is in legal as well as in HR. And I think those will be such an asset to our school committee. With my legal background, I know how to research regulations and laws. I know where they're housed, and I know that it's a complicated process. With my HR background, I have experience with the unions. So I know what it's like being on the other side. I know what the CBA process is like. I know what the grievance process is like. And with the upcoming bargaining, I know that's going to be an asset. And then, as I said about the social and emotional well-being for children, again, I'm not someone who just says things. I'm someone who does what I say. So when my daughter was experiencing those issues, I took those head on, and I knew how hard it was, and I want to help other parents through that as well. And I think I could be a voice and an advocate for them while being on the school committee. So I urge you on May 17th, when you cast your vote, think of the candidate who will be able to put their personal beliefs aside and just come to the table and figure out what's best for our schools and our community. And the candidate who will ensure that culture wars do not get put into our schools, because there's no place for them.